Sadik up and welcome to another episode here for the Funky Pod. And again, it's another cat episode. It's cat cast time. I still have to decide on what's the best name for it. And this week I figured I have to talk a little bit about why I actually do those things, because I just talked with a colleague of mine about it. And she was like, how did you actually become she's seen my posts and on social media with my cats and stuff. And she's like, how did you actually become such a cat person? I'm like, well, actually, I'm not a cat oh, well, wait. So how did this actually happen that I'm a cat person doing a cat podcast, have a cat page, a cat website about cat stuff and all those things? Well, let me take you on a journey. It's not going to be that long. So just a bit of background. So I thought of, like most people, right? I'm not a cat person. If anything, I'm a dog person. And then back then, with my girlfriend back then, she was a cat person. And I was like, come on. Yeah, they're not that cute. I mean, they're okay, but not that cute. Come on. And back and forth, years went by. And then eventually, when we decided we move in together, she's like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if you would have a cat? I'm like, I'm not sure. So she kept getting on about it, like, come on, it would be cool. They're like, yeah, okay, but now our place where I used to live, so she moved into my place. I'm like, it's not pet friendly, unfortunately. So she's like, yeah, but let's move into a new place together. That is pet friendly. Like, okay, that's the plan. After a few years together, okay, so that was the plan. Okay, we can let's adopt a cat. Adopt, don't shop. Let's adopt a cat and take care of the cat, and then we will see how things pan out. Okay, great. Why not? Let's look into it. And then there are lots of Facebook groups here in Thailand that say hey, I found this stray kitten. It seems like there's no one taking care of it. Does anyone want it? Can anyone take care of it? There are lots of those posts here in Thailand. I guess in other countries too, but I'm only used to it from here right now. And so then my girlfriend at the time, she was looking at all those things and looking at different posts, and she's like, oh my god, look at how cute this one is. And I looked and I'm like, oh yeah, that's actually kind of cute. And so we contacted the person that found that kitten. She said she found it behind her house in a outskirt of Bangkok, not like downtown Bangkok, in the outskirt of Bangkok, like an hour drive or so away. And she's like, she found it there, and seems like that the siblings and the cat family that is close by doesn't care about that particular one, that little one. Like, oh, this is so sad. Yeah, next month we're moving to into a new place. Take care of it for a month, and then we take it. Okay, so she's like, okay, yeah, I can do that. And then she texted us a few days later. She's like, oh, it seems like the kitten is quite sick. She's taking it to a hospital. The doctor couldn't find anything. He said yeah, just wait for it. It's going to be okay again. But it seems to have gotten weaker every day. And she lives in the outskirts of Bangkok. She couldn't really afford an upper class vet, so to speak. There are a few super fancy hospitals here downtown Bangkok, but not in the outskirts. And she's like, yeah, I'm sorry, but it's already quite expensive to take him. It was a little boy. Take him there. So I don't know, maybe you can do something. We're like, okay, sure. We haven't moved to the new place yet, but we pick him up right away. So we were still in our old place, the non-pet friendly place. Okay, let's pick up the little guy right away. And then we took a Grab taxi, a taxi out there for an hour. Got a small duffel bag with towels and everything. We didn't have any cat equipment because we didn't expect it. So picked him up and then went right to a hospital. We researched before which are the best hospitals in Bangkok, the best pet hospitals, and went right to one of those. And then they're like, oh yeah, it seems like there's a heart issue with him. He had to stay in an oxygen chamber for 2-3 days or so. Visit him every day, of course. Through the glass window. It was pretty sad. At first he was just hiding in the back the whole time, but then on day 2 and day 3 he's saying hi and coming and eat some food from your hand, which was really cute. Then they said, okay, it seems like you can take him home. We think he's getting better. There's no specialist here right now, just general vets, but no specialist in this particular heart disease. But the general vet said no, it looks like he recovered and it's all going to be okay. So we took him home, smuggled him into the condominium back then, in the duffel bag, don't and then let him run around our apartment like a little kitty. The apartment was big for the little kitty. And we had a rooftop there too, with like there's like a pool and a sauna and stuff, and like on that condominium. Just took him up there a few times, let him run around there. He really enjoyed it. There's some grass up there as well. And then we realized we're not the only ones doing this. There was like another couple who had like a pet rabbit. Like there were no pets allowed right there, like a pet rabbit, and let their pet rabbit run out up there too. And we're like, hey, how's it going? And then we call him Pumpkin, little Pumpkin. Then I was chasing the pet rabbit, which was pretty hilarious because the rabbit was like twice his size, but he was chasing the rabbit around. And so they went on for a few days, and he was really like close to me, like all of us, like out of the gate. He was only chilling with me and hanging around with me, sitting on me, not on my girlfriend back then. She's like, what the hell, man, I picked you. And he was just like always like next to me, and then he slept in the bed, of course, also always like next to me, always in my arms and under the blanket and so on. And all of a sudden on one day, he started to hide under the bed. And I'm like, why? You haven't done this the last few days. Like, what's happening right now? And then it seemed like he's getting weaker again. And he was like, like just very weak, just sitting on the sofa. I'm like, oh no. Took him to the vet again. The vet said, oh no, it's getting worse right here. Oxygen chamber again. And then, the specialist's gonna come in 3 or 4 days, like a heart specialist. Like, okay, let's wait for the heart specialist. And the heart specialist said, well, there's nothing we can do anymore. He's gonna die quite soon. The only thing we can do is to not let him suffer. And that was tough. Like, that was really tough. So, they had to use a nice little Pumpkin. And when they told us that, I was crying for the whole day. And after it happened, I was crying. I was sad for forever. I was like, what the fuck? I don't want this. Oh, God. It took me really long to get over it. It took me so long to, like, be able to somewhat, like, get my shit together again. It was really, I did not expect it, that, like, a pet that I didn't have for that long, like, had such an impact. So that really hit me. That was really tough. But now, of course, I always think like Pumpkin's up there. And I actually, I have a tattoo here with a cat on there. And everyone's like, oh, it's a cat. It's so cute. Yeah, that's actually Pumpkin. And it's a very elaborate tattoo. So not just a cat. It's like actually him, like his face, and very elaborate around with like some hidden messages that I understand about like life and how time was fleeting and how he fought for his life and stuff like this. So every time I'm down, I'm like, okay, if Pumpkin can fight, I can fight. But yes, I thought, okay, after this, it was so tough, and I don't want to have this again. No more pets ever again. And then like a few weeks later, I don't know how, like, I was with my girlfriend at the time. Then again, she's like, hey, so we were talking. I don't know, what was it? It was at night. We were talking, and she's like, do you feel the two? Like sometimes I wake up at night, I think Pumpkin is there. I'm like, yeah, man, all the time. I wake up and I look for Pumpkin, and she's like, that's quite spooky, right? I'm like, yeah, that's pretty spooky. And then the next day, something popped up on her Facebook again, one of those groups that they're like, hey, here cats, someone take care of them. And we saw like this cat with the crippled tail, like a picture of like lots of kittens. But like that one kitten was like in the corner, like again, very sad, because it had like this crippled tail. Many cats here have that. And it seemed like no one wanted her. So we're like, man, we have all those things now. We have all the cat backpacks, the bowls, all the stuff to take care of the cat. We still have the food. We have everything, like blankets, whatever you need, right? We have everything. Like, well, why not use the stuff that Pumpkin gave us, basically the stuff that we needed to buy, and the knowledge now to take care of another one. We're like, okay, yeah. So we picked that one. They brought it to that condo. We still didn't move because the move got postponed, so we still didn't move like for another month. Like, yeah, just bring it. We're gonna smuggle it in. And so then that's how we got the cat that you see sometimes running around behind me if you watch the videos here, or if you follow my cat page, the white one. Her name's Spooky. That's why her name is Spooky, because it was quite spooky back then. So that's how Spooky came to be. And so then we had Spooky for a few months, took care of her. Everything is fine. So I could probably throw Spooky down the balcony here and she would survive. Like, Spooky's awesome. Like, very resilient with everything. That's cool. Never any issues. Taking her to the dog, like, for checkups, like, as you're supposed to do, but nothing ever there with her. One time she scared us though. And we took her to the doctor, and then, to make sure that there's no rape happening on the streets in Cat Town, you know what you have to do, so that they're not getting, or not like making 1,000 other babies. So we did that at the vet, and then they asked us if we want to take her home or if we want to leave her there. I'm like, no, of course, if I can, I'm going to take her home. I'm going to take care of her. You don't take care of her. And, like, very protective parent. And oh god, and Spooky was like so weak after the procedure. Like after, she was just like shaking around and lying there and couldn't move. And I had to, like, the doctor said, like, keep her warm. Like, if we even brought her back to the doctor, and the doctor's like, you have to just keep her really warm. Like, so I packed her into like lots of clothes, like cat onesies, and had a UV lamp shining on her, and it was just like, Spooky, let's go, and hug her all the time, and check temperature like every hour. And then so like after like a few hours, the temperature slowly went up because it was very, very low. I'm like, yes, finally, and I just cuddled Spooky all night long. That was the only time she scared us. Other than that, like, super resilient. And having that said, like after 2 or 3 months of having Spooky there, one of my friends then said, like, okay, now you move to like a townhouse. So we had a townhouse, a few floors. They're like, hey, so my friends found a cat. I'm like, no, like, but man, look at her, she's so cute. And then I saw the picture of the black one, and I'm like, okay, I guess it would be nice to have a friend / sibling for Spooky. So she's not alone when I go to work. So Spooky's not alone the whole time. Even though I know cats are cool alone, but still it's nice to have like a sibling to play with, to figure out like how to interact, right? So like statistics actually show that it's better for cats to have like another cat with them, so that they can see how the claws work and all those things, right? So okay, let's get that one. So then we got that one too. The black one was also like 2 months or so old when we got her, and she just sleeps like so easily. It's not that she sleeps all the day long. I mean, cats sleep a lot, but she just sleeps everywhere. Like Spooky needs like her fixed spots. So she's like, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'm asleep. That one sleeps just all the time, everywhere, and that's why her name is Snooze. That's how we got Snooze. So now we have Spooky and Snooze. That's enough now, though. So for all the friends and stuff, no, that's enough right now. I moved again to a different place. I don't have that much space anymore, so that's enough right now with Spooky and Snooze. But yeah, that's how I became a cat person. I still don't think I'm a cat person per se. I'm a cool cat person. If the cat's cool, like Spooky and Snooze, it's all good. If the cat's like, then I'm also All right, that's a bit of my background story. So now that it's out of the way, next week again, Spooky Snooze adventures and so on, takeaways, findings, and all those things. But I thought I had to put it out there eventually, so that explains like why I'm doing all those things. Let me know, how did you become a cat person? How do cats influence your life? Like, do you have any sad stories like me, or is it all just sunshine and rainbows, which is awesome? So just share your cat stories with me as well. So far, it's been 2.5 years now since I have Spooky and Snooze, all awesome so far. So let's see what the future holds. Until then, as always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. It would be cool. Rate this podcast so we can reach more members of the cat family to have like bigger discussions. That would be appreciated. Until then, stay safe, take care. Let me know your cat stories, and we talk soon. Sawadee ka.